Hello, for those of you who know me. For those who don't, my name is Danny Rivas. I am making this video to kind of give a little bit of education on service dogs. I'm upset because me and my service dog went to Walmart earlier and a woman got down in his face and she walked at him, got down in his face and went, "Bruh!" And he was startled and barked back. Now, service dogs are not supposed to bark. They're not supposed to show aggression. But in this case, I'm going to give them a pass because any dog, trained or not, is going to respond to someone sneaking up on them and jumping in their face and doing that. Why would any sane person do that to any dog, let alone a service dog? And so, I will try to explain a few things. Boats! Come here, buddy. Boats is my service dog. Come here, Boats. Hey! This is Boats. Hey, look. Boats is my service dog. He helps me with mobility assistance, amongst other things. Some PTSD assistance. He is just about 1 year old and knows quite a few things. He can open doors for me. He can help me stand up if I've fallen. He can pick things up for me. I can ask him to pick anything up. He'll pick it up. And yeah, he does a lot for me. Service dogs do a lot of amazing things. Many of them have many different jobs for many purposes. Some help with seizures. Some help with seeing impaired, blindness. Some help with PTSD. Some help with mobility assistance. Some help with... There are service dogs that can literally help people with... They can go get their food for them. They can get their medication for them. They can do an array of things. So, but for the rest of this video, Boats will be portrayed by my daughter's stuffed German Shepherd. So, service dogs. Service dogs sometimes wear vests. Vests come in many shapes and sizes. Here's a vest. Here's a vest. Also, sometimes service dogs will have this on their muzzle. Now, assumption is killer. Please never assume when you see a dog. Ever. One, never assume that you can just go up and pet that dog. And two, never assume that just because you see this on his mouth, his snout, that he is a violent dog with some sort of muzzle. I know we've all seen Lady and the Tramp, where they have the big muzzle. No. This is a leader. All this is sometimes, especially in very crowded areas, it gets a little difficult to keep the dog focused on where you need him to focus. What this does is this gives the handler absolute control of the service dog's head. So if I'm walking and he's right here, it will keep him walking straight ahead. If a kid jumps out, somebody jumps out, tries to pet him, I can keep positive control of his head. It does not hurt in any way, and it is in no way a muzzle because the dog can still open their mouth with this on. So, just because you see that, don't think, oh, that's a mean dog with a muzzle. No, it's not. It's to help the handler. Okay? Another thing. Service dogs are not there for you to pet. And please, don't take any offense if me or anyone else with a service dog tells you that you can't pet the dog. Okay? Don't just see the dog and say, oh, puppy. No. This is not a pet. This is an assistant. This is an assistant to me. It's an assistant to anyone else with a service dog. And he has a job. He has a purpose. And he has been trained, mine has been trained, as many others, to not accept pets. My dog can be pet, but he has a certain command that I give. When I give him that command, he knows it's okay to be pet. But if he doesn't have that command, he's going to be very wary of you. Again, it's nothing personal against you. It's just he has a purpose. The best thing that you can do for a service dog is to treat it like another human being that you have no intention of talking to. You go to the store, you go to Walmart or any store that you go to, and you walk by 50 people a day. When you walk by those people, do you say hi to every single one of them? No. You treat them, you walk right by them. I mean, people are polite. They say, excuse me, if you're, crossing or something like that. But most times you just walk by people without even giving them a second look. That's the best thing that can be done for a service dog. Treat them as another human being because they have a purpose, a job, a mission to help the person they are with. Okay? If you absolutely feel the need to pet the dog, then first approach the handler. So here's the dog. Here's the handler. Approach the handler and say, excuse me, sir or ma'am, may I pet your dog? They will respond with, I'm sorry, he's working. Thank you for asking. Or they will say, sure, give me a second. And they might have a command to give their dog. You might meet people that will never let you pet their service dog. And that's okay. Okay? That dog is not there for you. The dog's there for them. You might meet somebody who always lets you pet their service dog. My prior service dog, God rest his soul, he passed away a while ago from some kidney failure. All of a sudden, it was really horrible. But this was his best service dog. And he had this patch that said, ask to pet me, I'm friendly. This patch was a mistake. He loved to get pet, but this patch was a major mistake for getting because people see ask to pet me, I'm friendly, and for some odd reason the ask to pet gets thrown out of their brains. And they still see pet, but it says pet me, I'm friendly. And so they just walk up and they see ask to pet me, I'm friendly. Oh, you're friendly. No. Ask. Big word right there. Ask. Ask to pet. Ask to pet. Never just assume that you can pet. That's not your dog. That dog, again, I can't stress this enough, has a purpose, has a reason. So, never just walk up to the dog, oh, puppy. Bad. Another thing you shouldn't do is to distract the dog from its handler. Now, my dog, Boats, in my town here, knows a lot of people. A lot of people know him, and people talk to him, and they say, hi, Boats, and you're beautiful, Boats, and oh, you're such a pretty dog. And that's okay, because they're not distracting him. They might be talking to him, but they're not taking him away from his job. When you walk up to a service dog, or when the service dog's here, and you're standing over here, and you go and call the dog, or go, that's not good. Do not try to distract the dog. Also, do not try to command the dog. Boats, my dog, does not know sit, stay, any of that stuff. He knows it, but not in those words. He has a special set of commands that I've trained him to because with my last service dog, Brinks, people would come up to me all the time and they'd be like, "Ooh, dog, sit, sit." Please don't tell my dog what to do. Please don't try to command him. He's working. Okay? Yes, service dogs are smart. Yes, they know how to do many wonderful things. Okay? But they're not entertainment for you. They're not there to entertain you. They're not there for you to say, "Oh, wow, that's a smart dog." No. We appreciate compliments, but the dog has a job. So it'd be like someone coming to your job and looking at you and going, "Come here, come here." Same concept. Okay? Don't try to command a dog. Don't say, "Sit, puppy." Don't ask what tricks the dog can do. Okay? Can he do any tricks? He's got a job. Okay? So, something else. You might see a service dog and you might know, "Oh, I can't talk to the service dog. Well, I can't touch a service dog. Well, I'm just going to stand here next to the handler and look at the dog." So for this little example, the dog's face will be this camera. Don't walk up and stand there at a distance and go. Do not stare at a dog straight in the face. Staring incites challenge. The dog might take it as you are challenging him. You might be a threat to his handler. You might be a threat to him or her. I have children. You might be a threat to the dog's handler. You might be a threat to the dog itself. But when you stand there and just stare like this at the dog, it's not good. So, that's not another good one. Now, while there is plenty of vests, service dogs are not required by law to wear vests. They're not required to have any marking whatsoever saying they're a service dog. Most people have vests because it makes it easier. However, a person with a dog in a store most likely has a service dog. So, vests come in many sizes, shapes, colors. Most of us get vests for our dogs to identify them as service dogs. Educate your children. Teach them that just because they see a dog does not mean they can go pet the dog. And sadly, children are not the biggest problem. It is adults. It is people my age and older who expect to just go be able to pet the dog. That's not your right. Okay? Just because you see a dog doesn't mean you can just go and grab it. Hey, be nice to your sister. No, be nice to your sister. Like I said, I have kids. Do not expect to just pet the dog. That's not your right. That's not your privilege. That's not anything. Okay? The dog has a job. The dog's there for a reason. The reason's not you. So, that said, is there anything else I can think of? If you ask me about my dog, or any other person with a service dog, if you ask us about the dog, we'd be more than happy to explain how service dogs work, what they do, what they're for, laws, all that other stuff. I've got no problem. I love it when kids ask me, can I pet the dog? Because they ask me, can I pet the dog? And I say, I'm sorry, he's working right now. And then they ask, well, what's he doing? And I tell them exactly what he's doing. And I explain what he's doing to them. And they walk away educated. I'm a crossing guard for my children's school, which happens to be across the street. You can't see it, but it's there. And he goes with me to work all the time. And the kids there, they love seeing him, but they know he is working. Anytime he's with me, he's working. And they say, hi, Mr. Rivas, hi, Boats. And they don't just reach for him. They don't just touch him. Like I said, it's mostly adults that I have a problem with. So, that being said, please respect service dogs. Respect service animals. Respect the handler. Feel free to ask questions. Okay? At the same time, don't feel free to treat the dog as a household pet. Don't treat them like your dog. And while that might not sound right and everyone's like, well, I treat my dog great. No, you probably treat your dog amazing. Dog's part of the family. That's fine. But these dogs are not part of the family, and that way they serve a whole nother purpose. They sit over here because they are treated I treat him as my human assistant that can't talk. So, thank you for listening. Google service dogs and everything that they do. I recommend it because it's amazing what they can do, what they're trying to do. There's many organizations that have service dogs. There's many veterans out there that are still waiting for service dogs. There's people that are not veterans that need service dogs. There's an over shortage of service dogs, but they are amazing, amazing animals with an amazing purpose. And I thank God every day for my service dog. And I don't know what I'd do without him. But you can make life easier for someone with a service dog by educating yourself and knowing how to act around a service dog, which, in all honesty, is not that hard. It's acting like you would normally act every other day. So, thank you for your time. Share this video, please. And, yeah, have a good day, everyone.